Congratulations, Barry, on your award nomination. That's amazing.
Thanks.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's amazing getting to fucking sit amongst those lads, and it's surreal. Being up there with Killian as well is nice.
Yeah. Let's talk about the friendships that go on in this show. It's so important to the show, the sort of bromances that are going on. That's what takes us through all of the episodes. And you guys all sort of bedded in together, did training together and sort of hung out. Was that really important, and did that really help make this feel real to you?
Yeah, I'd say it was pretty important. I think being a part of such a big cast, that theme of brotherhood, which is so consistent, just kind of having an opportunity to spend time together in uniform, in that world, meant that everyone was closer, gelled, bonded, and Captain Dale Dye has that formula, he really does, to kind of get everyone together. I mean, I played in sports teams and bands, and I've never seen a group of people kind of connect so quickly. And I think it was important for the show because it's such a huge scale production, and there would be some times when you might not see someone for a few months, but as soon as you do, we've had that experience and we've seen each other and we know each other. So I'd say it was really important, and it does show through. It just gave us more time, not only to understand the different departments and where we stand within the ranks, but also just to get to know each other and feel comfortable and be able to be vulnerable and bond.
Yeah. And you did some boxing as well, was that?
Yeah.
Because your character's a bit of a bit tasty down the pipe.
Oh, he is. Yeah, we done boxing, and boxing is a great way to connect with people, and card games, and we kind of kept it in that time period, kind of place of keeping it relevant. But touching on what Raff said, it's I think you put a group of lads together, it can go one way or the other. But with this, there was no egos involved, and everyone was there to support one another. And we've actors there that was their first kind of gig, and you want to be there for them, and you want to set a tone that's nice and be professional, and if they have any questions, not to sound like a veteran, but that you can share some advice with them, and that it's also a playground to to kind of learn about your craft a little more and see different acting approaches, and certain people make certain choices, and it was just a big bowl of goodness.
It was.
And also, to film it for as long as you did. I mean, have you ever done a job that's as long as that before? And what does that do to the whole process?
I mean, we're happy when we're on it, and we're unhappy when we're off it, and that's the sad reality. So I won't ever complain when a gig has me on for as long as that did, or because I'm doing what I love to do, and you're learning and you're expressing, you're kind of sitting in it, and I've not been on a gig that long, but I was only on it for 3 months, so it was fine.
No, I've never been on a job that long, but I mean, it went so fast in a lot of ways, and like Barry said, the gaps in between were quite hard because we were so in it, and when you're there on set and you're staying out of London with everybody and you're all getting up at the same time and you're in your uniforms and you're staying in accent a lot of the time as well, kind of removing yourself from that and going back to reality, it's quite a weird, it's quite a strange thing. It was just amazing to be a part of something that long as well, because I was outside on the hard stands the whole time and I saw the seasons change. I saw the grass was up here when we got there, and then it all went away and then it started growing back, and
God, you were really on the ground.
I was there. I saw
the grass grew and it went up, and potatoes and everything.
I was eating lots of potatoes. Being on a shoot for that long, it was a really great experience, and I got to work with different styles of directors, so many different cast members, and everyone was always kind of there to help each other out, learn from each other, push each other.
Let's talk about the pushing, because there was a lot of competition on this. What did you win at?
There was this dice game, right, that I just stepped away from.
I wasn't great at that game. I'm really competitive.
There's new rules going on as people went on. Each dice that was through, there was a new rule, and lads, look, I'm gonna be boxing over here if anyone wants to do that, but see this dice stuff, I'm out.
I remember at boot camp, me and my fellow mechanic Sam, we won the we were defusing bombs, and they were timing it, and I was really happy that we did that because we were the mechanics. So if we'd been beaten by the pilots, it would have been great. But we won that,
And now you've got an extra skill to put on your CV.
Exactly.
You can defuse a bomb.
Yeah, I watch what you say. You're gonna be called
in the engine. That was another thing.
Tell me about facing the sort of fears that these guys went through. It's incredible to think about what they're thinking about when they went up, or just counting their friends in and back again. What was that like, getting into that headspace?
Raff touched on, seeing people go and not knowing if they'll come back, and having a certain amount of responsibility. And that kind of set with me when you said that. Do you know what I mean? These kids didn't have, you know, the privilege of seeing what lays ahead with social media or the results of what's going on in the world, or
The
they were
support
just
network.
they were just kind of going up into the air, and you know, no time to grieve, no time to kind of, you know, question or even for self-doubt to come in. There was a massive appreciation and kind of learning curve with that for me.
Definitely. I think it's really hard to compare. You can't compare. You can't feel what they felt. No. But you can try and understand it, and you can get to a close space that we can give that performance, you know? And for me, I just, from reading Ken's book and understanding the mechanics point of view, it's a different psychological torment not being involved in the emissions, but I think being able to show that and show the mechanic and the ground crew's point of view is really important, because there's so much going on. There are so many people making these missions be able to happen, and they're also friends, you know, and they're not coming, a lot of the time the planes aren't coming back. There's a level of guilt where you're blaming yourself because you're the one fixing these planes to go up in the air. And I was just really grateful to be able to tell that side of the story, and represent a kind of part of the team that deserve a voice.
Yeah. Obviously this is an incredible team that's put this show together. What was it like, you know, working alongside Spielberg and Hanks, you know, the golden team, and Gary?
Yeah,
of course.
And Raff, no, it's crazy. It really is. You know, just seeing Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks just potter about as well is surreal. Like, you know what I mean? They're icons. And Gary Gertzman as well, I'll say, you know, the whole team and the whole production, everyone that they had involved, everyone was just on their A game, and you felt a level of good pressure to rise up to that and be a pro about it.
Yeah, you feel that presence, and I mean, day one boot camp, you know, everyone's super excited to be there. We're still kind of in the pandemic, so everyone's just happy to be working and meeting new people. And we know that legacy of Band of Brothers in the Pacific, and the producers are the best of the best, but you feel supported and you feel like you're in good hands.
I was hoping Steven would come in and direct an episode I was in, you know what I mean? Like, that would have been amazing.
I know, that would have been.
You know what I mean?
When you do something, a project like this with them, it's not just what they bring, but it's the people they bring in as well, you know, and it's just it's such a great all-round team.
Final question then. Callum nicked the leather chairs out of the POW camp office at the end of production. Yeah, he did.
Cheeky.
I know.
He's always been
With permission, what did you take home as a souvenir?
I wanted to take that aviator jacket, but like a piece of let's just park it here. I wanted to take that the jacket, but I was just wondering when and where I'd wear it again.
I think those jackets as well, they were like originals as well.
Yeah, they were
big, heavy.
They look good. Like, you put that on, like,
Pop the collar.
Oh man, just it's so romantic looking and that. I took the dog tags.
Yeah, I took the dog tags and a little tool that I use in this episode 4 scene.